Good afternoon. What's going on, everybody?
Yo, good morning, y'all. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey,
Hey
Kate.
everyone.
Hey, Ty.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, how y'all feeling, man? Happy Sunday.
What's going on, man?
Good.
Not too much, not too much. Just
Going on? What's going on?
Good afternoon.
hey, how y'all feeling, man? So just a little housekeeping rules. If you're in a noisy place, try to stay on mute because so we can kind of keep the stream clean. But yeah, man, let's just go ahead and get started. And hope everybody had a good weekend. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah, had a good one.
All
Pretty
right.
good.
Been chilling.
All right.
That was good.
Let's just hop into things then. All right. Disclaimer. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is solely for educational purposes, not trading advice. There are significant financial risks associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. Now, let's get started. All right. So, first things first, man, we have a Fed blackout week. So, well, blackout period. So we have no Fed speakers right now. That's how it is. That's how it's set up to be right now. No Fed speakers for this particular cycle. So we got a little bit of room. Now we do have some big economic events this week. So we're going to talk about them as well. And sorry, I was just trying to help somebody get on Zoom, but I think they figured it out. I think they'll figure it out. Yeah, but yeah, so we got this blackout period. And so no Fed speakers. Again, that's cool for now. But the key economic data we have coming up right now is we have factory orders Monday, we have ISM services PMI on Tuesday, JOLTS data Tuesday, we got NEO and MDB earnings on Tuesday. We have non-farm payrolls on Wednesday. So that's a really, really big deal. That's I'm most looking forward to that. GameStop earnings on Wednesday, jobless claims Thursday, Lulu and Dollar General earnings on Thursday. We also have Broadcom. We'll get to the rest of the earnings in a moment, but we got a U.S. jobs report on Friday and consumer sentiment on Friday. So we got a busy schedule ahead. Interesting week. Now this was this was our Friday before last so this was Friday what was the date? Friday the 24th, I believe. Yeah, Friday the 24th. This is weird. Yeah, Friday the 24th. And this was how it ended on this was the 24th. This is how it ended. And with tech and communication services, the only red sectors. And this last Friday, we just ended with tech and communication services being the worst performance sectors, but they did finish green. And it was a lot of differences, but not too many. The one that stands out the most is consumer discretionary for the week of the 24th. Now, again, that was a really slow week because we had Thanksgiving. So we were, it was a lot of vacation and stuff like that. So it was a pretty slow week. But consumer discretionary had a big difference. It was a big flip in that one. And industrials also, but I'm just saying that was the most notable one on the on that performance on how it ended on that Friday, 2 Fridays. Now, this was the options order flow, call options flow on Friday. We had CRM leading the charge. I mean, that makes a lot of sense after what we saw from CRM this past week with earnings, Amazon and KRE. I mean, it got NVIDIA in there, Bank of America in there. On the put side, we had FSLR, CVX, XBI, and Johnson & Johnson. Now, as far as the weekly options for the full week, the top call options flow went to Amazon, TLT, Snow, PBR, GDX. On the put side, we had Morgan Stanley, Tesla, Microsoft, and CVX. Interesting. That's a little interesting situation there. Anybody got any thoughts on that or anything they want to say about that? Or any questions about that? That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So let's just go right into the next portion. So yeah, let's hit the recap, man. Let's go into recap because we had a pretty interesting week last week, and I know that the team or anybody has, some lessons learned, recap, or anything that they want to talk about. Or I mean, y'all can hear me fine?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You sound good.
Okay, cool.
So like a lesson, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so like a lesson for me, when you see the profit, take it. Like I got into a trade, I made out pretty good. I mean, I was profitable at the end of the day, but I should have exited the trade when it was at like 60% versus like 25%. You know what I mean? So I got a little excited. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna keep going up, but I gotta keep my emotions in check.
Okay, that's great. I like that. That's a really good one to hear. Yeah, that's very important. Very important. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I always say that's one of the things in the options trading Bible. I say, don't drive as fast. If you only drive as fast as you can see. If you can't see around that corner or you can't see 50 feet ahead of you, then you shouldn't be driving that fast. You know what I mean? You want to be able to go as far as you can see, and so you could safely make it there. Obviously, it's a little more in depth, but yeah, so no, that's good. That's a really good one. So you said if you see it, take it. And like, especially within your comfortability range. That's another thing I like to drive too. Within your comfortability range, you have to, you want to take that profit. So like, for example, let's say you're used to, you're not used to making a whole lot of money. And whether it's at work or in the stock market or whatever, you're not used. What the hell oh no, that was something else. Sorry, I was looking at something else. So if you're not used to making a whole lot of money in the stock market or just in general, just let's say you're used to like comfortably and you're okay with that, just making like $500 or $1,000 a week, right? So if that's what you typically make and you're comfortable with it, you're living a good life doing that, and then you end up making like $500 or just, I'm sorry, $200 in a day, or like I'll just say, or like $400 in a day. I'm just trying to, and I'm looking for a way to put this without over doing too much, but it, yeah, basically, if you're used to making a certain amount of money in a day and you make that in an hour, you should take the profit. Simple as that. You can't be trying to, keep up with other people and doing what other people do, because like I always say, if you see somebody else's profit, you don't know what 20% is to them. That's one of the biggest rules that I have in the options trading Bible, is never leverage more than 20% of your total capital to trade, because if you die, and you will die at some point, you have 4 lives left, to get it right. So that's one of the big things. And yeah, so that's just something that you want to do. So that kind of goes into what Drew was saying too, because it's like you got to get comfortable taking the profit. Like you can't, like some people will say, well, damn, I wish I would have. I'm like, no, you did good for what you did. You playing at your level. I'm playing at my level. So you don't have to make it like, you don't have to try to, do what other people do. You got to you don't know what type of losses they went through, what type of scars they got to get to the point where they are, where they're able to do it. And it seems so seamless. You know what I'm saying? So some things others can shake off that you won't be able to shake off. And I always say if it's uncomfortable to you, like it goes both ways though. Let's say if you're in a winning trade and it's just going up, you watch, let's say you bought 10 contracts. Let's just say that. And your heart is dropping every time you see a little retest, or you freaking out. You know you in over your head. So when you know that, you're like, all right, cool. I know I'm not going to buy this many contracts the next time. I'm not going to do it because I can't even think straight. So I'm not going to be able to trade straight, and it's not going to work out. Right. So that's something that, everybody want to do. But then on the flip side, if it hurts to take the loss or to accept the loss, then that means that you over leverage too. You know what I mean? So those are just two big things that, as far as the money side goes, you want to just make sure that you keep that in mind. On the win side, it works both ways. So just keep that in mind. And yeah. Anybody else got something to add? It has to be, man. It has to be. Yeah, I told myself I had
Okay.
affirmations today. This gonna be an interactive meeting. Hey, what's up, Ty?
Hey, Antoine. So I'll say definitely. Who was that just now speaking?
That was
I have
Drew.
a similar situation with that because with the crowd trade and that was a successful trade, and I got this rule where I kind of get in trades if they're still in play, like at 11 o'clock. So I kind of got that trade at $29. So that trade was like extremely profitable. But I was looking at the chart and I'm like, okay, I think this is good to hold, but I should have took my profit. So the next day, it kind of like, it didn't work in our favor, but it was extremely profitable. So being it's something that I don't normally trade, I should have took my profit there.
I love that one. I love that, man. Let me add to that too. So, like, look, I don't know, were you on Zoom with us that night before? I mean, the
Um, I was on Zoom, I
well,
believe,
yeah, well, I'm
in the
just asking
afternoon.
because, yeah, so pretty much we were on that same day. So, yeah, so those crowd plays, they went up 70%, and at the end of the day, but it's crazy. That morning we were on Zoom when I called the trade out. When it pulled back, and this was the thing. I like to do this though before that trade even like really started taking off. Like when I think when it got up before it started to even no, yeah. So but it wasn't even. I think it was like about 30% or something like that. I told the team on Zoom, I said, look, I said, if this trade does, if it came down, if it retested or anything, it has room down to its 9 EMA on the session hour. So we knew where that was, right? And so when it pulled back to the session hour, to the 9 EMA on the session hour, I told the team, I said, well, I'm adding here. I'm averaging down on this trade. Because it wasn't like I was averaging down on a losing trade or anything like that. It was that I knew that it had room to come back down to that 9 EMA if it came back down. So that's why I didn't go my full size position going into that trade, because I was like, okay, I was expecting that, okay, it could possibly come back down here. And if it does, then I'll add to it. So when it did come back down, Cliff asked, he was like, is it, should we stay in crowd or whatever? And I'm like, I just averaged down on it. They had room down here to the 9 EMA, came down there, bounced, and then I added again. So I averaged down on it twice. So when it did come back and ran all the way up to 70% profit, I was satisfied with that profit. Now I did swing. I did swing a contract, but I talked to the team about that on Zoom because we had our afternoon session. I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna swing one of these because and keep that in mind. The key that I just said, I'm gonna swing one of them. Those contracts were cheap. I make a lot of money in the stock market, but I don't like to lose a lot of money. So I'm like, if it looked like the way this chart is setting up, this contract could possibly open in the money. I didn't say, and I told the team on Zoom, I said, I'm not going to mention that to anyone in the chat. Hopefully they took their profit. We got rules around here, 30%. If you don't know how to read charts, you take profit at 30%, but that trade went all the way up to 70%. And so yeah, swung that. And those contracts were like they were like like $100 and something at the end of the day. The next morning when the market opened, it gapped down immediately. Those contracts went down to like $25. So, but just moved on because of the fact that there's nothing you can do about that. It's Lotto Friday. If you're swinging into Lotto Friday, that's just what happens. But the thing is, and I hate to use this term, but it really is what it is. That's why everybody got to look at the situation differently. That was house money. I hate that term. I'm just telling you what it is. So when you're thinking about, you know, having money and living the trade another day, I profited substantially on that. Averaged it down when I did. David, are you able to unmute and talk? I see a post in there, but I can't read that right now. And it'd be good if you can interact, if you can, when if you could share your story, what you have to say. But yeah, no, I just so we got to think. So let's just say you decided, you know what, I'm gonna grab these and I'm gonna swing this or do this, and you go hard, because what happens a lot, and the reason I know this is because of, I get feedback back. I get feedback from members, and what happens a lot is people never go big or never believe in the first trade. They wait until after we done milked that trade to death, and then they want to go hard on that trade, the next one, and that's the wrong one to go hard on. So and I'm not going to say that because it all depends on the situation in the chart. But this was the reason I say that with crowd is, let's put things in perspective. The reason we were on the crowd trade is because I played crowd earnings the night before and had a crazy profit on it. I played that one, and I played Foot Locker earnings. They both like ran like a bat out of hell. So I was waiting for, and y'all saw what happened the next day. So the next morning, Katie was like, you sell your crowd yet? I'm not. No, I'm my target is 230. So I waited until it got to 230, and then I sold. And this was the earnings trade that I swung. And then I started another position because I felt like it was going to 240. And but I started that position at when it stabilized around 230 something. I forgot the actual level. And that thing ran all the way up to 238. So that was this was before, this was all the day of its earnings. This was before I called out any trade to the team on that. So just a crazy profit day. And then that was the same day that I still had I had swung. So I told the team, I took the team out of the trade. It was meta 240s. I got the team out of those, down 7%. I grabbed those plays at the bottom on the dip. I posted it in the chat as soon as the market closed because wasn't trying to take that risk with the team. Sold them the next morning. That market opened, and and that it opened almost at 240 pretty much. And then that's when we got the dip on those other plays. But and so that's the whole point. You never know what somebody else got going on and what they're playing with when you just deciding to go for broke on a trade. And what I be thinking is, I'm like, okay, cool. I know that if I tell my team, okay, well, I'm saying I gave them the blueprint. I told them to do this, and I told them to do this, so I know they're going to be safe. And then it doesn't work out that way. So it's like, so then you kind of think it's so many different perspectives here, because for me, I'm like, do I trust the team going to do what I, not just what I say, but the right thing, or are they going to get that urge or whatever? Like, I'm gonna show y'all some stuff, man, and that anybody can get the urge, and things can happen, but you gotta be aware of yourself and what's going on in that situation, because if you don't, then you're not going to be around for a long time. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little tip though. Give y'all a little tip. Well, just a little fun fact. Sometimes I look at I see the what's the word I'm looking for? 1 second. And I actually don't want to but yeah, and so pretty much you know, I look at some of the profits that some of the members post or whatever, and I say all the time, I look at it and I say, okay, because you know I always use that analogy. I'm like, if you're always, if you know that person that's always, every time you ride by, they always on the corner every time, no matter what. When they finally spin the bend on that block, you know they were outside, you know. So I'm like, when a trade finally doesn't work out, you know who got clapped the hardest, because they always got a whole bunch of contracts, even in situations where they shouldn't. And I'm like, I trade for a living, like full time for several years, and you know, and I don't do that. So I'm like, it'd be crazy, you know. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so it doesn't feel good. It always, because I mean, the feedback I get a lot is, well, you just don't want nobody to catch up to you, or you trying to stop other people from making money, let them do what they're doing. I'm like, oh no, I'm just trying to save them from, you know, blowing their account, you know, like, all right, well, cool. I'm just trying to make my money too. I'm like, all right, so if I ran your account up to $3,000 real quick, and now you just blew the whole $3,000 trading your own thing because you over leveraged on the trade, then the next trade comes out. So like, let's use the meta trade, for example. So yeah, so the last meta trade that we had, it was a disaster. It was a disaster, right? So we were, again, I was anticipating meta clearing that, and I'm gonna go over to this chart too. Well, we didn't get to that section yet, but I'm gonna segue into that anyway, because I want to hit some charts. But yeah, but I want to hear from the team too. But I'm still gonna bring that chart up. But we just gotta. It's just something important. It's important that that we really start to I don't know, just take heed to the information that I'm saying. Like I said, there's no loss that I haven't taken before. So that's the reason why I know. So I'm trying to prevent those things from happening to the team. But anyhow, right. So we I broke my rules. That was the name. That's the whole name of this whole section of of the 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 meeting. I broke my own rules. I posted it in the chat when it happened. But and like I said, I can this is a twofold situation, because on one hand you got so the meta trade was the 340 call that I was a 340 call. Let me get the whole situation. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so it was a 340 call, right? And and second, I'm trying to bring this up. Yeah, 340 call. They were $220. Yeah, and I yeah, but yeah, I broke my own rules. The reason I broke my own rules, it was a few reasons. Now we talked about this. We talked about it partially, but it was like, you know, like I said, I'd already swung meta, and I was already up on those contracts because meta, I got y'all out of the trade, you know, but I stayed in the trade, and I told you I was in that trade, bought at the bottom, and like I said, the meta opened up almost at 340. It was at 341 in the pre-market, opened up 340. I had at 339 something. I sold them immediately. The reason I did that was because, for a few reasons. It was up like a good $4 or $5 from where it closed the day before. And I literally got in at the end of the day, right there at the end of the day. Number two, I was in Foot Locker earnings. I knew I wasn't ready to sell that yet, because I knew where it was going, and I was in crowd, and I knew where I wanted that crowd play to go. And I never knew that crowd printed the way crowd printed. I was intrigued, right? So we were all, this was on Wealth Wednesday. We were all in the chat because we were talking about this, and so yeah, so it was a great day. And you know, it was a lot of chatter going on about not having any plays and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, so I'm waiting for Meta to pull back, and let's be very clear, I would do that. I would take this same trade again and again and again, because I would do something, a few things differently, but I want to show y'all something. the issue really wasn't mainly just well, first let me get to me breaking my rules first. I broke my rules because you're never supposed to, one of my biggest rules is you never trade more than one volatile stock at a time. And you're not getting into two volatile trades. You're not trading Netflix and Meta. I'm not trading Meta with anything else. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something I got to watch. Maybe if I got a swing trade or something, I know I'm not selling for on like something like Apple or Johnson and Johnson. You know what I mean? Something that's less volatile I'm planning to build on that I don't have to watch. That's cool. But literally, I was still in an earnings play for CrowdStrike, and I sold the Foot Locker at that point already. But what happened was, so yeah, I sold my Meta too, because I'm trying to find the exact date. Yep, it was Wednesday, because this is where Meta closed. It opened up here. So yeah, let me see, where did it open? It opened at 339.69. And the high was 339.90. And it's so crazy because we were on Zoom the night before, and I was telling the team, I said, I think Meta could open higher. I said, but it could get rejected up there. And, that's what I was expecting possibly. So it wasn't necessarily because we had to remember, and I had this conversation with a few people too, because remember, everybody was looking at the fact that I said that, last Sunday, that if Meta gets over 340, it was going to 350. Yeah, but 340 is resistance. That's why I had to get over 340. So it wasn't going to be easy to get over 340, right? So the night before, we closed at we got the 339.37 was the high on that Tuesday. It closed at 339.03. So, it tried to get up there, got rejected, right? So that was our resistance, that 340. We needed to clear that 340. And so the next day it got up here, got rejected. My plan was to sell it anyway, because like I said, I saw the way crowd was building and I was in it already for the earnings play. I was not ready to sell that trade. And, so I took profit off the Meta play, and that was it. I said, I'm gonna wait for a pullback. And because look, another thing that happened, and the reason I'm looking at the session hourly is because, let me clear this out of the way. Reason I got the session hourly up here is because every chart tells a story. And the thing with what happened with Meta was Meta lost this 9 EMA here, and it was hard to get back under. It was rejecting it the whole time. We finally got back up we got back above it here, and and this was how it closed here, right? But it rejected where it rejected, and this was on Tuesday going into Wednesday. So I'm like, all right, cool, we got that close over this. And but the thing was, and I think I pointed this out before, this didn't really mean as much, because if you look back before, we've had that happen before, and it opened and went down. That was my reason for referencing this could possibly happen here, because it happened here, like around, whenever we got those closes around those, that wasn't where it happened. It was another place. But either way, long story short, we were above this level. So what I was thinking that could possibly happen was we get down here, if we, if it bounced off this 9 EMA again, or this area right here, we would be able to play off of that or whatever. And the trade really fell apart. It just really fell apart. But I posted, this was the thing. And one of the reasons that I posted the information in the chat with the trade right after I posted it was because I was still in CrowdStrike. And again, the reason I said I broke my own rules, just take full responsibility, is because I shouldn't have called out the trade if I was in CrowdStrike, if I wasn't going to be able to fully, keep a watch on the trade. But like I said, I'm take this. Let's just be clear. I'm leading by taking full responsibility for it. But I do want to say a few things to this team, though, is because when we get on these Zoom calls and I'm going through this price action and I'm telling y'all where the key levels are and how this is supposed to act and everything, and I'm asking if anybody got any questions, everybody always, either they say no or they don't say anything at all. And then I specifically said, when I put y'all in this trade, I said, don't sell Meta. I said, as long as it hold this key level, that's where bulls should defend it. Bulls should defend it at this price right here. And as long as they defend that price, the trade is in play. You know what I mean? If it didn't, then that's where you would cut the trade. So, you know, and like I said, shit, hold up 1 second. Trying to yeah, so long story, where was it when she, yeah, it was so it ended up getting all the way down here. Now my key level where they needed to hold it was up here. When someone alerted me and asked, you know, about this particular trade, at that point, it was like $3 below the level where I said, and it didn't just go down there. It took some time for it to get down there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just need the team to still be, you know, responsible and to understand what's going on. Because like I said, if I felt that the team couldn't handle it without me or whatever, then I would have just said, look, you know what, let's do this. Because and when I talked to it was the young lady who brought it to my attention at that point, you know, commend her for even catching it at all, you know what I mean? And but the whole point is, it's just like, to me, and I'm just being straight up though, like I said, I swung meta calls that I grabbed at the bottom and, you know, sold them at a profit right at at market open. And I was in two other really like extremely profitable trades, like trades that went from like $100 to like, you know, like $700, $800, you know, from like, or one trade that went from like 75, like, well, not 75 cent, because you know what I mean, $75 to like $900. You know, I had two of those trades the night before. I mean, I swung into that day and was, you know what I mean? It was one of them things. But I did want the team to have a trade too. And I've done that before. I've broken my rules to give the team a trade, and we were already up like $3,000 on the month. So I shouldn't have did that, number one. And number two, yeah, that's just what it should have did. And so what I'm gonna start doing now is, regardless of whether or not the team says they got it or not, you know, we got some things that we are implementing, so that way it'll have to be proven that certain things are implemented before, you know, I kind of, because like, for example, I just wouldn't have called out a trade because I was in CrowdStrike. It wasn't Foot Locker, it was CrowdStrike. That was the thing. I'm telling you, like, I'm like, the way those, I got to make sure Katie get on here, because I got to talk to him about that too. He's been trading for a while. Those contracts print. I just love a contract that print. SQ used to print like that, but those contracts really move quickly, and I like it. But yeah, but it's just one of them things, man. And then even with that situation, when we had a the crowd trade that I called out, I swung crowd again. You know, I grabbed crowd again and swung a crowd because, you know, I'd taken profit on the other one, because that was an extremely profitable trade too. And but yeah, so there are certain days where I'll be trading and I won't be trading with the team, not because I don't want to trade with the team, but like, let's say I'm in an earnings play or some risky trade that's something that I'm at a totally different level of trading. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to call out a trade every single, we don't do it every day anyway, but it was a few rules that got broken that day. Number one, it was Wealth Wednesday, and it was like it was, you know, heading outside of power hour, but it's you know, volume low is lower on Wednesday. And the market did play a big part in that trade falling apart too. But like I said, it was a little different because, yeah, instead of me looking at SPY like I normally would be looking at SPY and QQQ, I was looking at crowd, and because that was my biggest position, and it was, you know, doing what it was doing. But I did give the guideline to the team on what to do. And like I said, I'm gonna take full responsibility to outside of the group, but to you guys, I just want to let y'all know, like, I just need like, if anybody, even if what's the, I ain't trying to, because this is going to be a good meeting. I got a lot of good stuff to cover. I just want to get through this quickly, but I just want to say, like, normally, let's say I'm trying to explain a trade or something to y'all, or a strategy, I can't get the word out, because when, you know, without being taught, spoken over, trying to complete the sentences for me. But when it's a situation where I'm like, okay, I'm about to go shoot the general, I need y'all to watch this perimeter, make sure that it doesn't get it doesn't get occupied by anybody else. This is the most important part of the mission. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna focus on this general real quick. Y'all just make sure that, and everybody like, all right, we got it. And then the area gets compromised, and then it was just that was a bad analogy, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's like, come on, man, we gotta really step up and be a team that where speak up and say something. Don't just when things are going good, everybody know what's going on. Like I said, it's easy to when the market is going, when it's going in the direction you expect it to go in, but when it get a little, when those intricacies come in, it's like it's a little it becomes different, and it gets cloudy. But yeah, I want to make sure that we are able to to make those things happen, and keep just growing as traders. But like I said, speak up. If you don't know, just say you don't know, or could you show me what it looks like on the chart? Or I posted it too, but but I did all of that, and before I went and started doing what I was doing. And yeah, but it is what it is. Like I said, December is going to be a great month, because I'm glad we ended November that way, and we're starting off December this way, because December is going to be a lot sharper. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be. I mean, and November was amazing. We made a lot of money in November, so you turned your 175 into a lot of money if you followed those things. But like I said before, this isn't even about that, because I don't even want to make it about that. But I only had one contract, and that was because, like I said, I sold the meta position that I had before. I just had those. I grabbed that dip because I have a thing that any trade that I call out, I have to be in that trade. I have to. So got that trade, and but I was in those other trades. And but yeah, it's just like my thing is now, I said all of that to say, if I can't fully watch the trade, I'm not going to call it out. And again, I shouldn't have called it out anyway. It was Wednesday. I was in a volatile trade that I was already watching. But yeah, those key levels are important. If y'all, and one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, one person DM'd me, and they were very apologetic, and it wasn't their fault, but they were like, I never see your alerts. I missed that because it was in that other chat. It wasn't in the main chat, and so that's what made me record that video last night, to make sure there's no way nobody can miss it anymore. And where everything is, how to do everything. I hope everybody watched it. It wasn't that long. It was just very informative, and just so now when new members join, so even if you've been here for a while, you should watch that video. It's just going to be it's helpful to you to see how everything works, because it's a lot of this stuff that cover. Because like I said before, man, if you don't think you're gonna take losses, that's crazy. You're gonna take losses, but you have to know, because we were on Zoom. We had a great conversation on Thursday on Zoom, and one of the things I was saying, if you're gonna sell down 50%, why didn't you take profit at 50% profit? You got to think like that. Like if I'm selling down 50%, why the hell didn't I take profit at 50%? If I'm going to take profit down 50%. And we had a really, really good meeting on Friday. I mean, good Zoom on Thursday. And so we covered a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I just the options trading Bible, man, you got to go through it, and you're expected to go through it. I'm working on some other things that are really exciting, and I can't wait to share them with the team to make everybody a lot better. But like I said, to everybody who go against what I say and buying all of those contracts, although I say not to, just to as we say in Baltimore, to drag, you know what I mean? You hurting today, you know what I mean? And this ain't no dig at nobody, but it's just like, the one time when that happens, it erases all of the good that you had, that you made. You know what I'm saying? That's not, you can't do that. You don't want to blow your whole account on something like that. You want to get those reps up where you know what you're doing, and that's the money that so taking one loss, you can just blow it off and you ready for the next trade, like how we did, man. I told myself, I said, you know what, what's the best trade that I could put the team in for September? I mean, to start November off. And me knowing I be in FactSet a lot, and the S&P was doing the rebalancing, and I was like, I gotta find a trade that's going to be a substantial trade for this team. I needed it to be something that was going to be big, something that I felt that was going to be substantial. And I'm like, we're going to get some time on it to ensure that that the team isn't gonna, so we got the monthly contract on that Uber contract. We got those 59 calls, and it was at $57. I posted, way before the market closed. If they do get added to the S&P 500 tonight when the rebalancing happens, it should be over $60 per share. And soon as the news got announced at 5 o'clock, it ran like a bat out of hell. Yes, it did. So we got so much time on those contracts, and I know it's going to keep running, but me, I'm like, look, we got a few weeks on those contracts. That doesn't mean you can't take your profit. You know what I'm saying? If you paid $100 to get into a trade, and it runs like that, and those contracts go deep in the money, then you take that profit. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can always, if you think it's going to go higher or further, you can always we can talk about it. We definitely can have a talk about it. But that was my thing. Like I said, one thing I always try to do, I'm like, it's a difference between trading. Everybody knows, like, it's a difference between just trading, what's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, another thing I want to point out today is too, some trades, you should not take every trade. Like I just told y'all about the analogy about the person that's always on the block, right? So some days you don't go outside, you know what I mean? You don't go outside today, and stay in the house. But it's like you don't got to be in every trade, but it's like you have to think to yourself, like, okay, what can I do? Why am I in every trade? Is it because I'm not making enough money? Is it because I want to gamble? Is it because I just, I feel like I'm supposed to be? Like, what is it? Do I like the setup? What is it? Because the gambling part, I can't help with that. But as far as the other parts, I'm like, okay, I always got to reevaluate. Like, okay, I had somebody tell me, like, well, we used to take trades that were like $400 and above per option. That's all we used to take, like, were more on the expensive side. But we had got new people in the group, and so we ended up I ended up changing that up. But we were in this $400 meta trade, and this woman said to me, she said, well, I was only up 25%. And I said, how much? I said, you just made $100 in like 10 minutes. I said, how much you make an hour at work? You know what I mean? So this is extra money you're making. Like, if you work overtime and you work 4 hours, you know what I mean? You have to work, probably 4 hours to make that, I don't know, like, depending on what their job was. But I'm just saying, the whole point is you got to really put that into reality, into perspective, because a lot of people are working like a lot of hours at work, like hard work, away from their family, and then blow it in the stock market from not following these rules. So you're working that hard and then blow it in the stock market, when you could just take that money at 30%, or you could hop on Zoom and ask some questions and find out what's really going on. You know what I mean? It's different things. It's different ways to look at things. But like I say stay away from every trade. I see a lot of people I try not to, I'm not as hands-on as far as, well, I don't like to provide my opinion where it's not requested, because although on the coach or whatever, it gets taken a lot of ways. So I just kind of keep things to myself and just you got to let things happen. But I know I've said it multiple times. So I'm like, all right, cool. But, you can't be in every trade. Like, it's a lot of stocks that I don't know about like that. So we're not trading it, or I don't know that the catalyst wasn't there or something like that. Yeah, the Meta situation, man. Look, I said I'll take that trade again. Meta it was a lot going on that week, and I still don't understand how the news that came out on Meta that sent it falling at first was news that came out a few days before. I mean, not a few days before, but it was like earlier in that day. I'm like, how is that a factor now? And that caused the stock to sell off. It was just like something that came out with they're saying now all other platforms been doing it for a while, but they're saying that the Wall Street Journal did a test where they had a adolescent account, and they were, I guess doing, how Instagram does, how the algorithm is. If you click on a few cat posts, they gonna have the algorithm gonna feed you posts about cats. You know what I mean? And so I guess they clicked on some stripper post or something from an adolescent account, and it brought those types of sites back. And then a Disney ad played next to it, and all hell broke loose. You know what I mean? So they so Meta was like, that's the algorithm, but it wasn't geared towards children. But then they did a little step further and said, well, they believe that Meta programmed it like that for kids to be addicted to the apps. I'm like, man, they did the iPhone like that. They did all those. So, I've been off social media for, all week. And I've been off there all week. And so I don't have no reason to pick up the phone. So those apps are addictive. And but yeah, so anyway, but you got TikTok, you got all these other apps, but Meta, it dropped, but it was so much. As the stock was going down, the order flow was going up, and it just kept going up, and it kept going up, and kept going up, and kept going up. And and we still ended up holding this level here too. So we're gonna see what happens next week with Meta, because I'm ready. But but at the end of the day, yeah, it just it didn't work out. It didn't work out that time, and I'm cool with that. And but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But it doesn't change. But that's my stock. I watch it all the time. I'm watching. I like this falling wedge on it, and I like how we got this. But again, we've had a few things like this happen before, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. And but yeah, especially with this upcoming week. And yeah, I like that chart. But yeah, it's a few things. Since we're talking about Meta already, I'm gonna kind of just go to the daily on it. So every chart tells a story, right? And so Bears pulled Meta stock all the way down here on Friday, and Bulls managed to pull it all the way back up here and finish in a hammer. That's bullish. So let's see how this plays out. Again, that's a bullish sign for me. And so we can look at the weekly. The weekly is a little iffy. It's a little iffy right here. So we're still holding that breakout area. So I'm like, okay, cool. But we got a nasty 222 reversal round trip. But then you go to the monthly just started. This is how we finished the last month. We're inside on the month. I'm gonna see what happened. Meta typically has a good December if the market is bullish. So we're gonna see how things go, because yeah, I still, yeah. But again, a monthly chart, we can look at the monthly because the month just started, or at the end of the month. But a monthly chart, this candle takes 1 month to solidify, so it's not going to do any good for us while we're trading intraday, stuff like that. But just something to keep in mind, just looking at that, the way that chart is. And but yeah, so I'm looking for a 222 reversal here, since we bounced off a key level, and we got a few key levels to hit. But yeah, just trade by trade, man. But yeah, like I said that we're going to do things a little differently this month because I want to end the month off strong. I want to, finish the year off strong. And what I'm not going to do, like, I know, I'm not going to let, the pressure of someone wanting to trade to, cause me to fall off, what I know I should or shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? So if I say, don't think I got an attitude or something like that if I ain't calling out a trade or like I'm gonna give y'all an example. Look, we swung Uber calls. We got in an Uber trade, swung Uber calls, and I was very clear when I posted the Uber trade after what just happened with Meta. I wanted the team to know what was going on. So I posted the Uber trade and I posted the information about what could possibly happen at the end of the day. That's why I called the trade out. So everybody knew about it because I posted it right too with the trade. Now, if we're in Uber on Monday morning because we swung Uber calls and they up substantially or whatever we're doing, first of all, it's still indecision Monday, and that's number one. Number two, if you missed out on an Uber trade or didn't take the trade, you don't be the person that's like that's the DM the admin saying complaining about not getting a trade. You know what I'm saying? So that's not even cool. You gotta catch the trades when they come out and don't chase them, and we should be good. Like because a few of these charts, man, and then on top of that, man, in this meeting let me get through these charts, man. I got a few great charts for y'all. But first, I'm gonna hit a few of these charts. Now, last weekend, on this very meeting, I told y'all that if coin got over 117, it was going to 132, and it went all the way up to 134. It went all the way up to 134. It hit a 222 reversal, bounced off the 90 EMA, man. It took off, but it did exactly what it needed to do. Now, look, it was already extended before. But then that Binance news coming out where the CEO got he's arrested pretty much for some sort of fraud and money laundering situation, and that was the biggest crypto platform there is. Binance was always my favorite too, and so that made that's bullish for Coinbase. So yeah, and it just kept running. It kept going. But but you gotta, when a stock has relative strength, and that's why I was like, it's a little extended, but if it takes out 117, it's going to 132. It hit 132, kept going. Shout out to Cliff. I know he played it. That's his stock. And so yeah, man. But this stock right here, looking at the weekly chart, man, it's crazy because looking at this, just looking at it in general, man, it actually, it doesn't really have a real resistance until 140, and it's crazy. But I think that again, I'm not really sure about what happens from here. You know how I feel about stocks that just break out like that, but it does have a lot of ground to make up if that was the case. But let me just take a look at the monthly for a second. Yeah, this looks great, man. This looks great. So let's see what it does at, let's see how 140 plays out if it can actually get where it needs to go. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And a second, I'm trying to God, that is a beautiful breakout. That bull flag broke out. It did exactly what it needed to do, man. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, shout out to you, Cliff, man, because I know you played it, and I know that that was a nice trade. That was a really nice trade. That was a nice trade. But yeah, I feel like over 35, over 135, and we should be able to make that move to 140. Look like it wants 140. So keep it on watch. Keep it on watch. Now, I got a list now. There's a few stocks that were on, and it's a few things that are gonna one second. Where is my Oh yeah, my bad. So look, so you already know, right? We are in so the Fed, one thing that the market is rallying for a few reasons. One of the main reasons the market is rallying, it's so crazy that this is running like this, but one of the reasons the market is rallying like this is because we feel like the Fed is done tightening, because you see the effects of the quantitative tightening, rate raising, and everything is already starting to set in. And unemployment is going up, and you're starting to see different things that are happening in the economy, and they feel like certain things are starting to fix itself, but other things are getting worse. But I'm saying all that to say, man, so a firm is running because we're living in a time of buy now and pay later, because they already maxed out the credit card, so now they're using a firm. And and so this stock is running like a bat out of hell. This whole holiday season is buy now and pay later. So there you go. So a firm has more. It's crazy. A firm is another one of those stocks, man, that just has a lot of, and people from the old days, of playing a firm knows how this thing moves, man. So it looked like it wants that 140, that 141 or whatever, but it looked like that's where it's headed towards, to 141. Now, obviously there are a few levels in between there, but I feel like right now, the way that the momentum of this stock, and how it would be nice if it gave a nice retest down to the 90 MA. That would be amazing if that happened. But yeah, over 38, and I see over 38, I see 40 and possibly 140. And let me just go, and I want to take a look at I want to see where the 50 is. Is that my 50? Yeah, oh damn, that's way over the 50. Where is this 200 day? I think that because this stock was so beaten down, it got to still be below its 200 day, right?
It is. It is.
Oh, no, it's not. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, so it's way above. So it's above its 200. It's above its 50. It's above its 9. It's just running. It's just running. So we got let me put this back on a 50, because I would keep it there. Keep it there. Yeah, so it's way above all of these. And it's just because, I mean, it's been down for much longer than I thought. You know what I mean? It's been down for a long time. So it has a lot of ground to make up. Doesn't mean that's going to happen right now. But yeah, this is one of them stocks to keep on watch right now. I was telling y'all about it last week. But I can't watch every stock. I'll be watching my stocks. But this was another one. I pointed this out before it really took off, but it still held this breakout. And PayPal took off. I mean, not PayPal, Affirm took off, but PayPal didn't really take off yet how I feel like it should have taken off at this point. And this was how it finished on Friday, man. This was a crazy finish. We got a nice 222 reversal here. And I was telling y'all earlier, last week, that I felt like the 9 was about to cross the 50. We got that cross up happening right now. This is bullish. Definitely need to keep this stock on watch, because it has a lot of room left into it, for a few nice moves. And it already took out pretty much 2 of my price targets from when I posted the alert last week. This gap fill area right here is headed towards now. So I just feel like we can actually, so if this get over 60, we should be able to close, it should be able to get to this gap fill area here at what price is that? That is at the 60, 81, 86 price level. That's a nice move for PayPal. It's a very cheap stock now. If it's able to get there, then we should be able to make another move. Well, my next price target would be the 62 price level as well. we got a few areas on here, but like I said, first things first, I like this play, man. I told y'all about it here and it took off, right? So just keep this one on watch, man. Let me all right, I got it key to watch. Let's go back to this one. So yeah, man. Again, I don't be posting them as much, the watch list as much, but if I see y'all starting to use them a little more, so I will post them more. Like this was another very big one. It was on my radar for a while. This one we were waiting for this to break out. I told y'all if it broke out of this range, it was going to make a big move, a huge move was my exact words, and it broke out and it ran like a bat out of hell most of its gains. Now, like I told y'all, the Russell 2000, it tracks the small cap stocks, right? So this is the IWM, the ETF that tracks that index, right? And so we held most of these gains. It went exactly where we thought it was going to go. And it has a lot more room. This is crazy, right? So look, while QQQ was still getting dragged by the tech sector and the banks, and SPY was seeing a lot of pressure because they had to deal with that too. We had a lot of the small cap stocks running, like, those are Firms and Squares and PayPal's and now Uber is going to the S&P 500. So it's coming out of this, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of these stocks it's other stocks that we can play, outside of the same ones. That's why I be trying to put this information out there to y'all, to keep up. So I'm hoping that if I'm not watching it, then somebody can put it on our radar and be like, like I always say, I don't need help with Meta. I'm always watching it. But if I'm posting all these other charts, man, and they break out, I'm like, if I don't see it, then we all miss it. So, I want y'all, like, I'm gonna post some more nice charts. They be, and the plays that get posted in the chart setups or chart alerts channel are plays that or stocks that charts that I had some time with, you know what I'm saying? So they be most of the time they're gonna be in play. They're gonna end up being a really good trade. So sometimes just bring it back to my attention, like remember that trade that you mentioned or that chart you posted, it looked like it's whatever, just bring it back to my attention because I can't believe we missed out on that Affirm. I can't believe we missed out on the IWM. There was a few of those other ones in that trade, in that chat that I posted that were really big and they ran, right? But we missed them all. So I'm like, so what, let me ask y'all a question, because we are having this conversation. This is an open conversation too. What could we do to make because I know some people don't be seeing a post or whatever. Like, what's another way we can do it to kind of help, make sure that everybody sees everything, or that we kind of, to get y'all involved or whatever. Like anything that anybody can throw out there.
Hey, I can get my opinion right because I'm talking about for people who missed a trade or anything like that, because you can't really do too much about it. Because if you call it out at a specific percent, if you call it out for a certain amount, then we're obligated. We're supposed to get it at that price. You know what I'm saying? So if people don't have them notifications on, it's like nobody can do. I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, if we all see most of the stuff, and you didn't already went over how to turn notifications on for every channel and everything, so I guess if that's a big deal, I mean, I don't think there's nothing else to do about it besides allow them see what time you called it out, how much the profit was, just the typical things you do. So I think that's just how I feel about it.
All right, cool. That's cool. No, thanks for the feedback. No, I feel you on that. Because yeah, if the notification's off, ain't nothing we can do about it. Seriously, real. But I'm saying, like, but that's just some like that's different. That's like I'm trying to, I'm trying to look at it differently, only because, like I say, then having your notifications on and that being the reason for not seeing the schedule on the wall, you can't tell your boss that, you know what I mean? Well, I ain't had my phone notifications on, so I ain't see when you sent the email with my schedule. So that's why I did a no call, no show today, even though, so you're supposed to check it. But yeah, I'm just saying like if just
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think we just really do need to, like you said, really work as a team, because like you say, you can't be in every place. So like when we have our Sunday meetings and you bring up a chart, like one of us should go ahead and volunteer, like, okay, my eye is on this one and I'm going to be giving updates on that chart. We can't force anybody to do it, but it would be great if someone volunteered to choose a stock and be like, okay, and that doesn't have to be like, this is my stock that I'm watching, but this week he's proposed these specific charts, and one of us should be able to say, okay, I'm watching this stock, so that if that breakout happens, that we on point.
I mean, yeah, we've done that before. I know like Peter have like I know I can use Peter as an example. I had Wayne do it before. And that worked out fine. You know what I mean? I've had them watch charts and stuff for me before, and or just for us, and that worked out pretty well. But I'm just, it's just like I asked this question before, and but I got feedback, and from one of the admins. Somebody said to the admins like, "Well, that's that's not their job," and stuff like that. Just for us to do our job. But but yeah, I just feel like we could make a lot more money if that was the case, because listen, I missed IWM, right? I missed that move. I was waiting for that, but like I said, I was distracted, man. I was distracted by crowd and meta. So it is what it is, Like I said, there's certain earnings behind the scenes that I don't know. I just be doing certain things, man, and that I'm not always doing, with the team. And I was contemplating the whole, like I was done trading for the week. And before I said, I'm gonna put this Uber in there because I know it's gonna be the one. But yeah, you're right. I think we can do something like that. But I'm just saying, like, more in the chat, man. It's like, because like I said, I don't need most, like, some people don't even know that the chat exists. So now we got a few more alerts that'll come out to kind of let people know what's going on. Because like I said, if you see something in there, if you because people always tell me when they don't see anything for a few days in there, like, well, they were really helpful to me. I'm like, I've never seen a thumbs up in there from you in my life, so I didn't know that. Like a few thumbs up in there. I'm like, oh, I know the people in there using those charts, so I will continue to post them. I think that's just that's all I ever say, right? We that snap trade was a really nice one. But I only wanted to say that, man, because we had some really good ones last week that could have yielded a lot of money. Hey, what's up, Stella?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to say, because I'm still learning a lot from last week's meeting. I decided to, when you post those like in the chart watch list, where you post the charts, I decided I'm just gonna go mark up my charts. And the mistake I made with I think it was CRM that really did well, is I marked up the chart, but I didn't set an alert. And then by the time you were saying it's broken out, I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, look, I could have taken that trade, but I didn't have an alert on it. And so that's something I'm going to do, is when you give us the levels, is definitely put an alert on. So if I'm not watching the chart, I'll hear it and I'll come and see what's going on. And I was wondering if it might be too much to do, so maybe you won't do this, but when you give the like the call out, if you could also maybe tell us what's the key level that we're looking at, like you said with Meta, this was the level, and someone alerted you that we were below that level, and I went and I took a look, and maybe I need to learn more. I was like, oh wow, that was a key level. I didn't even know it. So yeah, so that is how I'm learning, is definitely setting those levels on my alerts, and I mean on my charts, and figuring it out as price action plays out.
Hey, no, so thanks for the feedback and for you were on Zoom, and thanks for participating too on Thursday, and so with that, so it's a few things. So I always say, man, be careful with with um the trades and the charts too, because again, like you like if because this is a beautiful chart, that's why I brought it up, but but when the first thing, when you see when a level gets taken out, when it hits the trigger for calls or trigger for puts, now that's just an alarm that that we have, that there's some momentum in that stock and things of that sort, but it doesn't necessarily mean there's a setup. So now it just gives me an alert. Now I need to go look for a setup on the trade, and based on how much time I'm trying to hold that trade for, that's the time frame. And now I'm going to go look for a setup on, so just that's why. So when I say those, when I post those chart alerts or whatever, those are, and again, I like the fact that they're being used for, for marking up charts and stuff like that, and actually trying to decode it. That's perfect. But I always say, though, like, just, but I'd say they're a little bit more advanced, because now you have to go find a setup on it. Because, for example, I've had people tell me all the time, well, your Tesla chart hit Tesla just hit your trigger for calls. I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I don't see no setup on it though yet. I gotta wait to see a setup on it first, and then when I see that setup, then I will take the trade. So yeah, so a lot of times what happens is a trade that I do call out, it's a chart that I posted. So like, for example, I'd already posted the crowd chart, and Meta was already charted. Most of the time when I do call out a trade, the chart was already posted, but nobody, looked at the chart or whatever. So by the time I'm calling out a trade, if it's on the day and time that I'm on Zoom, I'm on Zoom. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna and even if I had time to do it, I'm not gonna go back and double do the work when, when what I'm trying to do is get the team to do. But let's say hypothetically, I didn't do it, and you ask, or somebody ask a question, oh, gladly, I'll post it at that time, because now I know the team. Whenever the team, look, I'm here, I'm a leader servant, right? So whatever y'all need, I got, but y'all don't ask me nothing. So when people ask me stuff, I'm ready for it, because that's what I'm here for. I felt needed on Thursday. We stayed on Zoom all day, well, till lunchtime. You know what I mean? So it was a very great session. So that's what we're here for. And if I come off any other way, it's because I feel like you're not taking it seriously, and this is something that I take seriously, and this is a real career for me. So everybody got their careers, and it's like, if somebody just disrespects your career, don't take it seriously. Like, I'll just watch it when I get a chance, or I'll come to work when I want. Like, you're gonna feel some type of way about it, and it's like, yeah. So that's just how I feel. Like, it's just like, for example, Kwesi, a barber, he'll blend your hair to perfection. You know what I mean? Like, he literally blends to perfection. But I know other barbers that'll cut your hair in like 10 minutes and it don't look half as good, but or they'll say, well, man, you know what? You can get that done. I can do the same thing in 10 minutes or whatever. Like, man, you don't take this seriously. It's just like, there's different ways to look at different things. And it's like, you can't just wake up in the morning and look for charts and just like, well, so yeah, but it's the stuff that we post at night, or the extra charts that KD be posting, man. Or y'all see how much I use KD as a resource. Brandon got on Zoom on Tuesday and was like asking me about he asked me about, he said, I see that UPS chart that you posted, it did something. I'm like, man, that was KD. And then they got to talking about that. I mean, from what I understand, it was a very successful trade, so, but KD spent a lot of time looking at charts on his free time. You see him posting charts at night, or after the market closes. That's what we're doing, so but like I said, it's a million other things that is not. So again, I'm just trying to make sure this is clear. Just because a stock takes out a trigger for calls, it means absolutely nothing if you don't find a setup on there, because now you don't have a plan. You know what I mean? It's like they say, like, look at the trigger for calls. It's like, damn, the vault in the bank just got open. But what's your strategy though? How you gonna get in there? How many security guards in there? Are they armed? Is, you know what I mean? Where, you know what I mean? What type of I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to fox the whole situation and you got to know what's going on. So it's not, the trigger for calls mean nothing. That's some level 2 type situation. So that's what I always say, master getting in and out of trades first and figuring out why that trade was called out and stuff like that before, because what end up happening is you got to think like, I just got to get in the trade. So and since they're not calling out a trade today, I'm going to go grab one of these trades out of here and I'm going to make something happen. You know, like you got to really be patient on that tip sometimes, you know, and yeah, so when it's right, it's right. And sometimes, look, sometimes I go down a rabbit hole sometimes and I got to snap myself out of it. So when you see me take a step back for a little while, I'm like, nah, 2 trades in a row not working out the way I want. Like, you know, 2 trades in a row that didn't go 100%. Oh, nah, I gotta take a break. I gotta come back with fresh eyes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, man. And now obviously you can do little scalps, like even little 50% profits. To me, I feel like that's not my type of trade. You know what I mean? So I don't look for those types of trades, and I look for the big ones, and I like the trades that's going to really print substantially. So I look for those setups and stocks that look like they can give that potential. This CRM trade was one of them. So Stella, when we were on Zoom, by the time I know I had CRM up when we got on Zoom too, and like if you had asked that question if you had told me that when the market opened, because I wasn't even aware that CRM had taken out my trigger for calls yet. I was not aware. And then I saw, when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, it already took out my first price target at this point. What's up, David?
Hey, I just had a quick question. When you say trade down a certain percentage, what do you mean when you say that?
Hold on, say that again.
When you say trade down, so like you said on one of the metas on the chart or chat, whatever, you said trade down 7%. What does that mean?
Oh, I mean, I cut that trade down 7%. Mean I got
Gotcha.
out of
Okay.
that trade at a 7% loss.
Okay, gotcha. I just want to know what you meant by that.
Yeah, that was the trade that I had called out right before the close that day, and I got y'all out of there because I didn't like the way it was closing, but I got in that trade. I got back in that trade because I felt like it was going to do something, and yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, I think what day of the week was it? And I was like, I think it was going into a Wednesday, and I said I didn't want to be tethered to that
I
situation.
think so. It was like the end of the week, but I just didn't know what you meant by that, and I just wanted to ask because I thought you meant that, but I wasn't sure, so I just wanted to be clarified. That's what you meant.
Yeah, yeah. So
All right.
yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, that was but yeah, you know, so just trying to just be more but yeah, but how many of y'all actually went through that actually use the trading checklist when you trade and actually, you know, just utilize it to kind of help you with the trades?
I use the trade checklist for the Walmart trade I'm currently in right now.
Okay. All
I
right.
have the trading checklist laminated. Pretty much use it all the time.
I
I
ain't got
use
one
it.
lemonade. I keep it with me.
I got mine on my screen.
I think I'm gonna put mine on my screen. That sound about right there.
Yeah, you know, that
That
trading
sound about right.
checklist and the that options trading Bible is really is the one though, because like I said, that just got a collection of all of my laws that from me trading all of this time, and it's like every single, like if and every error or situation that happens that go wrong, if you think about the options trading Bible, you know, because it's like that's just, anyway, it's just something that really is helpful. But I know everybody be like, you know, why we got to do this, why we got to do that, but you know, just something to do, because it's just something that really needs to be done, that's really going to help out, and in the grand scheme of things is really going to help you I don't know, be successful and just and get where you need to get in this with this options trading. And I just want everybody to be around for a while. Like I said, you can, yeah, I just want that to kind of help out. That's going to help out a lot if we can do that. Now, I like this. Again, the CRM looks great, man. We're going to see what it does here because it's like right where it's at now. It's at an interesting point right now. And I really think that it can have a continuation, especially if we have another big week. Because remember, last week when the market was dropping, the cloud sector was bucking the trend. The whole sector was moving, right? And so yeah, so there is it's some room left in it. You know what I mean? I say that the way crowd was running, not crowd, the way that crowd too, but the way CRM was moving, I'm looking for a bigger move in CRM. I think we can my next target is 265, 76, and then 270 on this one. I will chart it and I will make sure that that the levels are updated on there so that way y'all can see it, because again, it's a mover and it has a lot of ground to make up. And then I know this is just a smaller time frame and this will change at market open, but they had a nice setup before the close, just sitting there. And let me see what just for kicks, I want to just see what the session hour look like. Yep, got a little bull flag coming up right there too. And so yeah, just this is another one that's going to be hot on a watch list. But like I said, I'm not necessarily looking for any additional trades on Monday. Trying to, we got the Uber trades and trying to keep an eye on that. Now the banks were heating up, man. The banks were starting to heat up too. Now this is XLF right here, the ETF that tracks the financial sector. And look at this, is crazy, right? So look, so this is another thing, like how some of these sectors be just moving and just didn't even it ran continuously. It bounced off the 9 EMA and then hit a 222 continuation. One sec. And it looked like it has a lot more room left in it. That was a crazy pivot after it hit down there, that double bottom, whatever. So yeah, so I just, again, I've been keeping an eye on the banks for a while anyway. Earnings season is around the corner. When I say around the corner, we got another whole, month, whatever. But just saying, like the bank's been getting hit, but now, yeah, just they broke out. It was a nice breakout. And the crazy thing is it's been running for the last few weeks. I just hadn't been paying attention to how hard the bank's been running. So yeah, I'm just looking for we're gonna keep this on watch. I'm gonna show you a few of the individual banks to keep an eye on too. But yeah, I'm looking for it to close this gap here and then possibly make a move to 37. But let me show y'all Citibank. Citibank. We got Citibank. We got a few of them, a few good ones. But look at the Citibank chart. Sheesh. Breakout. Got a reversal here. This is the weekly chart, by the way. But I like this Citibank chart. Out of here. Come on. Hold up. I don't know what's going on. Somebody don't know. I was like, somebody, you can't be pressing it for me. It's like, I get what was going on. I swear. But yeah, we got this breakout here on the weekly, and I like that breakout above the 50. Really looks nice here. And this is like, I like trading Citibank anyway. The options are cheap now, and it moves when it breaks out. So I got a few other ones that I'm gonna show y'all, but you see how XLF looked though, man. XLF did not have to break out like that, but it's been that, and it's, I can't believe it's been running for that long, and we weren't paying attention to it, but it's okay. Let me see something, bring this over here and put this on the daily. Look at this daily chart. This is Citibank on the daily. So this happened on Friday. This happened on Friday. So yeah, so it had a crazy move, and it closed the gap. So yeah, it's another stock that I really like, and I just feel like that second, trying to bring this level, trying to get this. Having technical difficulties with this mouse. But yeah, so we got a gap area here, right here. And so and I think that I don't see any reason why that doesn't get filled. But yeah, I'm just waiting for it. We close, we get over this gap, we should be able to make a move to 48 and then get out. We should be able to take out that 49.12. But again, I'm just judging by the way the weekly looks. I don't see any reason why we don't take that out and make a move. I'm gonna chart this. I got a few levels on this one, but I hate, I know how I am, man. I'm like, man, we should have caught that when it bounced here, but I wasn't watching it at all. Can't watch everything, but we definitely gonna keep the banks on watch this week with XLF looking like that. Let me show y'all Wells Fargo real quick. Goldman Sachs, man, Goldman Sachs chart. Hold up, and I'm gonna hit JP Morgan. So the banks just broke out, man. They just broke out. Now this is a good chart. Look at this weekly chart here on Wells Fargo. You see this beautiful bull flag right here on the weekly? It's a nice flag here on the weekly. And I feel like with our VIX, man, being down so low, with the VIX being so low and us going into December, like it's a lot that could possibly happen. But I like this chart on Wells Fargo. And it's another stock, another one that I'm keeping on watch. This is a weekly chart. It's great, looks great, man. So I'm gonna show y'all this the Goldman Sachs. I'm gonna chart all of them, so don't worry about it. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I got this. I got y'all. This one is crazy. I already had this one. I already had it charted, but hold on. This Goldman Sachs chart, I already had it charted, but remember this, I had this charted for a while, but look, it's knocking at the door again. It's been knocking at this door for a while. Sorry, let me exit that one out, make this easier to see. So it's been knocking on the door for a while here at this range. So if it breaks out, it's gonna run like a bat out of hell now, because it's been coiling in this area for a while and we just haven't been able to break out of it. So we've been playing the range on it. I had the team in a few calls at the bottom of this range, but now we're knocking at the door. And it just so happened that this is a time where the rest of the market is bullish. We also have the banks gotten hit so much because of, and then the rate hikes, they hurt the banks because interest rates higher. And at some point, it's two sides, because people got to take out loans, and people gotta take loans or do stuff anyway, and rates are higher, so they get more money off of that. But at the same time, there's less people doing it too, so it's double-edged, and the banks were just getting hit anyway. But if Goldman Sachs breaks out of this wedge, it's gone. It's out of here. So I'm looking for a nice move on this one. Now where did hold on, this is the weekly chart. I'm gonna go back to the daily. Just want to show y'all something first. But this is a crazy situation right here for Goldman Sachs. And 355 is my first target on this if we break out of that range. Because keep in mind, forget this right here, and you can kind of see the same you can see part of the trend here on the daily. It's obviously it's not as refined as it is on the weekly, but you can see, we kind of got a breakout already here, but this isn't the big breakout. The big breakout is here. This is where smart money is looking at this one. So when it breaks out of here, that's when we're gonna make a move, So let's see what happens. We break in, and what was up with this day here? I'm just trying to see something. That was last year, but then something happened and it just died. So but yeah, let's just see if we can get a breakout, because with all of the banks running and XLF looking like that, and this was a crazy weekly close here. Look at the volume, the volume differences right here, the difference in the volume on the the weekly and the previous week and this week right here. So, we had a big move. I'm looking for another move, man. And yeah, we're gonna keep this one on close watch. This one is on close watch here. And again, it might get rejected, come back down here, but it just looks too good, and everything looks good. Now look at the monthly chart. Same thing. This is a crazy situation, right? So we kind of, it's time, man. Now, if the market really is about to do what they think it's going to do, this is a bull flag here too. But and I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting to see what happens. I don't want to get anybody to, excited about it until we see what happens. Because I'm disappointed. I missed that move already. But if it's going to run, we got some time, and we can keep an eye on that. JP Morgan. Nice chart on this one too. This is from the last time, and it just ran like this since then, man. And it's crazy how certain stocks, man. I got to bring up, and I'm gonna give y'all an idea, man. Just I got a few watch lists. I got one for the banks, I got one for tech, and I got one for just some of my stocks that I trade a lot. And I just got, I got a few different sectors, and not one for all of the sectors. But if you make a watch list that you look at, you want to look at that watch list and the pre-market, so you can see exactly what's in play, what's moving, you know what I mean? And then you kind of focus there. And so, yeah, I gotta be more on point with my watch list going forward. But yeah, JP Morgan, this is another one, looks great. And I can't believe we missed that big bank move that happened so far. So hopefully it's not over, but we will see. I like the way this weekly chart looks. And let's just see if we can make another move here, because JP Morgan closed at it hit 157. I mean, it closed at 156.84 on Friday. Now, if we can take out 158, we should be able to make a bigger move on here. We take out that 159.38, and then there's a gap fill area that we should be able to I think we closed that already. I think we closed it. Yeah, we closed that already, but it's not fully closed. It's not fully closed. It's kind of just like right there knocking at it. Get over that, and we should be able to make a bigger move up there to like 165. So, this is another one to keep on watch. But yeah, we looking for setups. We looking for breakouts. Let me see what the monthly on this one looks like. And yeah, looks good. Looks good. Looks just like not just like it, because it had a better situation than Goldman Sachs. But yeah, these charts look good, man. Like I said, that's my job to bring the data to y'all, man. Look, so real quick, Mogul, you were talking about Dollar General all week last week. You were talking about it you mentioned it last week on a meeting. They got earnings on Thursday, and yeah, they got earnings on Thursday, man. And the chart, it looks good. And as far as earnings goes, are they going to try to come up and fill that gap? I mean, hold up. Hold up. Did Dollar Tree already had earnings, right? What happened with Dollar Tree earnings? Didn't they fall off a cliff? Let me check something real quick, because it looked like Goldman Sachs. I mean, I'm calling it Goldman Sachs. Dollar General trying to come up here and fill this gap right here up to 155. Look like that's what it's trying to do. And I think that was an earnings gap. That is an earnings gap. So, but I want to see something real quick. I want to just compare something. That's some crazy bullishness since you mentioned it last Sunday. This is the weekly chart, bro. You mentioned this last Sunday, and it made a nice move since then. So from last Sunday when you mentioned it, it ran substantially since then. So that's something and it has a long way up too. So they got earnings. I'm gonna look at the data and see what the what the numbers really looking like for them. But it looked like it's trying to get back up there to that gap fill area. We had that non-EMA just crossed over to 50. Let me see where their 200 is. I just want to see where their 200 at real quick. I just want to see where the 200 is. Okay, the 200 is right there. let me just change this over. So, because I can't keep it that color. So the 200 is right there. So it's trying to get there. That would be a golden cross. If we get that 50 to cross that 200 EMA, this is where the death cross happened and it fell off a cliff and it just died, right? So we're looking for that golden cross. But, EMAs are lagging indicators just like anything else, well, just like a lot of the others. So what we want to do is get there ahead of the move, right? But yeah, you did put us on to that move way before it happened, and it ran like a substantial amount since then. Now let me go to the Dollar Tree for a second. I just got to see what's up with this. Yeah, they had earnings. Yeah, this was the earnings, I believe. It fell off a cliff for earnings. Well, hold up. What day was the earnings on? No, they didn't. Did they? Yeah, this was
Their earnings
right
was
here.
what's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Mobile? So
Their
this,
earnings was Wednesday,
yeah,
the
I got,
29th.
yeah, I see it now. So I thought because they were down in the pre-market, and then so I guess this was, yeah, I don't know what happened, but I see it. It ran here. It ran, and now maybe, and now. So yeah, okay. So it looked like they performing well. They had a good move on Friday too. Big move on. So like the small caps were running. The small caps were up. So like the small caps are in play, man. So like I'm looking into, Katie put us on this move a while ago anyhow, but we got back over this key level right here. Now these were levels I had on the chart last week when we talked about it. And this was after earnings. So now we got over that key level. It's trying to get back to its 200-day EMA as well. And then it got a big gap fill here. So if the small caps keep on running, man, these are the type of stocks that we could trade and buy some time on them because they aren't really that expensive. You know what I mean? And really have some cushion and some leverage on the trade, because just looking at the chart alone, like how long, because you got to really think for a second, like how long is it going to take for who want to take a stab at this? How long would you think it'll take for and not one of the usual suspects, somebody else, like how long would you think it'll take for Dollar Tree to close that gap up here? How long will it take? Now this is up to the like 141.40. How long do you think it'll take for Dollar Tree to fill that level, to fill that gap up here? Now it closed at 126.20. It closed at 126.15. So that's about a $15 move. How long do you think it'll take for it to get up there if it was to have a continuation?
I mean, just like looking at the chart, I would say a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks probably.
I'm saying, well, why 2 weeks? I'm just asking, like, why?
Oh, why 2 weeks? Because like I'm looking at, I guess, the trend down, right? So I see the gap down, and like right now, I'm looking like as current trajectory. So it looks really bullish, right? So I'm just trying to visualize,
Well, see,
like a
yeah.
time frame, which isn't really anything, but that's just what my analysis say. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna give you another thing to look at then, because like the chart, because I mean we can't say that by just looking at the chart if we don't know how many dollars the stock moves in a day. So I just looked up the average true range for Dollar Tree is $3. So so to move $15, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I just you just gotta think about like, okay, cool, is that really, could it really do that? Like, so that would be like, so that mean a week. So I'm like, I would add 2 weeks on that contract because so the fit, like looking at and still get something closer, but because I want to be in the money comfortably. Like there's another tool on here that can show you like just just how long or what the percentages of the move or whatever, and you can actually change it to money too. You can change it from percentages to money too, to see. Let's just change this over to numbers because like what is that? That's a what was that? 15, yes, 15 to 20. So that was an $11 move that it made in 3 days. 4 days. It made $11 move in 4 days here. And you know, so I'm just saying, like, I would add, even though it's, you said 1 or 2 weeks, and I
I
mean
would
that's
say 3 to 4, to be honest with you.
yeah, it's,
Because remember, stocks just don't go straight up. You have to give it time for something like that to play out.
I mean, yeah, I hear you. I fear you, but I'm just saying, like, if we were just basing it off the average true range, and then like Drew was just saying, you know, just looking at the way the stock came down and how it built back up, and just looking at how the price action is moving in real time, you know, I say a week or two. I mean, if we just going off just the average true range, it could happen in a week. Now, if Dollar General, because look, everything is about a catalyst too. The reason they shot up like this is because apparently they had a good earnings or something. So then we got a nice move on the stock, but we were getting a nice continuation on it too. And so if the market rallies in December, everybody's going out and buying stuff in December, and we're getting this Santa rally, and the small cap stocks are rallying, and then Dollar General beat earnings and got up, this going to run in sympathy with it. Like, let me see real quick. If I go back to the if we split this, because now we got to look at catalysts, because everything, we only trade stocks with a catalyst, you know what I mean? Or if there's some sort of reason for the stock to be moving, because otherwise, you know, I want to know what the potential is for the move to continue, right? So let me go. We'll put Dollar General on this screen here. So we got Dollar General daily here, and we got that. Oh yeah, Peter unmuted. Oh man, Peter unmuted. He's showing off today. So what's up? What's up, Peter? but but look, so they had earnings on the 29th, right? So earnings were the 29th. And this was Dollar General's move on the 29th. So from the 29th, when in sympathy, it ran up, you know. So that was a substantial move for this stock. You know what I mean? It ran like a good $6-7 off of almost $10 off of Dollar Tree's Dollar Tree's earnings and sympathy. So yeah, let's just see how that plays out, you know, because again, I'm like, did it run up too much? But no, it's making up ground. I feel like it's making up ground. Now they have to beat, though, have a nice beating guide, and then that should be the move, because it looked like it wants this gap fill area here. Look like that's what it wants. And so yeah, we keep both of them on watch. It would be nice to get a pullback. But you know, like I'll have no excuse for this, because Mogul mentioned this last week, and he mentioned it in the chat a few times. And KD Ben had us on Dollar Tree, so yeah. But you know, we're trading. I can't trade everything, but yeah. So, but yes, that's one move. Now another move. Now Ty might like this one. Maybe not. But Broadcom got earnings coming up. Now, this stock is too expensive for my blood, right? But you know, it's a chip stock. It's these semiconductor stocks, they move a certain way. You see, they move alike. So if you're looking at the daily chart of Broadcom and you're looking at the daily chart of Nvidia, they look just alike right here, right? Different prices, but they both got that Loch Ness monster right here, and bounced off the 50 EMA. Now let me see where that 9 is here. Hold on. Similar price action. Yeah, so look, they got the same chart, man. It's crazy how similar these charts are. So I'm saying this for a reason, that if Broadcom has been beating its earnings, it's been doing pretty well. We got this nice pullback down to the 50 EMA. Now, you know, the 50 EMA is the stock's mean value. This is where it's where it should be. It comes back down to a comfortable value. This is where a nice area for certain stocks, right? And yeah, I just feel like if Broadcom comes through with a nice print, it's going to send Nvidia going. But Broadcom likes to have an earnings run up too. Now their earnings are on Thursday, so let's see how that moves. Let's see how this plays out, because if it comes in and they have a big beat, Nvidia is going to run to. Nvidia's had enough of a beating now, right? I feel like it's sold off comfortable enough to where it's time for a retest, and I mean for a reset and a move up to, up to 500 from here. So obviously my target would be, if it was to bounce here, it would be 447. I'm sorry, 477 will be my first target. Then I got that 482. The reason I said 477 is because that's the 9 EMA, and it's been getting rejected there. And then I got a key level marked at 482 and another one at 488. So we got some levels there for the stock, right? I say put some time on those contracts, and don't, like, because one thing Ty taught me, don't be afraid to add some time and go out a little bit on those plays, because with Ty, she'll talk about a trade and it'll be like, I remember she was talking about, this was why Nvidia was like at 400. She was talking about the 500 call for a month out or something like that. Man, that thing went in the money. She did it with a meta play too. It was like, I don't know. It was she do it a lot. She done it with Tesla and a few other stocks, where she just have this vision and she'll be months out, and with that time on there, and those things end up going in the money, and they be cheap. Those contracts be relatively cheap. So I'm saying that to say, like, if I'm looking at the 500 call for the monthly, the one for next week's expiry, not even a play for this week. That contract is going for 250 now, but let's see if Nvidia bounces and how this goes, because Broadcom may have an earnings run up, and I like the way this candle closed here. And if that happens, then we should get a move with the chips. Now, remember, Marvell fell off a cliff for earnings, and that kind of hit the sector too. So Marvell, that their earnings was on Thursday, and we saw the effects it had on the market on Friday. But yeah, well, on the chip sector. But yeah, I like where the stock is, man, at the 50. Nvidia does pretty well at the 50. If it's above it and it bounces off of it, it typically goes. If it's below it and it rejects it, then it drops. But you got to pay attention to certain stocks at certain levels, and it's near a key level too. So I like Nvidia right here, and I would love to hear Ty's thoughts on it. No pressure, but
Hey, no, I actually do see a bounce here. I put in the chat like the 462-ish, and it kind of went down to 461. And I did another update. I was thinking it was going to 452, but with SPY, it seemed like the market is into like bounce actually. So I actually agree with you with that.
Good. All right, cool. But yeah, so I know you're gonna keep us on watch with this, and I know you'll be hopping on, you'll be on Zoom and stuff like that to make sure that we on point with this, and because again, I'll be all over the place. I want to make sure that we don't miss if it does take this move. I like that play. I'm not saying that people should jump into that trade, because again, if this is the thing, because like I said, like if we say something and you only understand the part where we talk about a strike, but don't understand, but like, watch out for this pitfall right here, because if this happened, then that means the whole play falls apart. Then don't take the trade. Ask questions about it first. You know what I mean? Because if anybody getting into this trade off of just hearing us talk about it on here, then they also heard the other part too. And then you also got to consider Broadcom got earnings. So like, let's say hypothetically, Nvidia bounces off this level and have a nice run this week, right? You would want to get out of that trade before Broadcom's earnings. You get what I'm saying? So you just want to, and if you feel like, it can make another move, well then, okay, well, if it's going to make another move, buy a higher strike, but take your profit, and that higher strike is going to be out of the money, because it's going to make a move based off of whatever the situation is. Or if Nvidia makes a $20 move from now, or $18 move from here to Broadcom earnings, why you got to get another strike?
Right.
I mean, I just think about that too, because you know how much money I've lost, because I'm like, okay, cool, I made all of this money, but I'm gonna let a runner run, and I'm like, but that runner was like a good another $600-700, and I could have just, that's extra money. But think about how many hours it takes for you to to work to make that much money that you blow. So, but yeah, that's all I really wanted to say.
Thank
Yeah,
you for that insight too on
no problem, no problem, no problem. I'll post this in the chart.
Hey, bro. Excuse me. Don't forget about Lulu.
Yeah. Well, I got that on my calendar to hit. I got that on my list too. But I know I'm not gonna play Lulu earnings, so I know I ain't gonna touch. So I'm not. I don't know nobody that can afford that stock. So I wasn't even gonna bring that chart up. To be honest, I was gonna let you. If you wanted to do it, I was gonna let you do it. But they do got earnings coming up. I'm just being realistic. I know I'm not gonna touch that stock, man. I ain't gonna touch it at all because it's just too expensive. They got earnings the same night as Broadcom, and it's been running or whatever. But this DocuSign that I just pulled up, by the way, 'cause they got earnings that day too. But yeah, I know I'm not going to touch Lulu. I don't even want to put that in nobody's head, bro. Like that stock is a little too extensive. I mean, I know y'all got that big money, man, but y'all can go ahead and play that Lulu, man. But I ain't touching it, man.
Nah, I feel you. This shit, I actually put it in the chat. Like, look, them contracts too expensive for my blood.
Yeah, so I'm like, I ain't even going. Like, if I gotta choose a stock, I'm gonna choose something that I know we could possibly play or that we've played before, or what's up with this chart, man? What am I doing today, man? I'll figure it out. I know I did something. Oh, all right, that's what happened. That's what happened. Hold on. But yeah, this 1 second. We are, and my bad. Most of these, the rest of these, I'm gonna post in the chart because we way over the time we spent the extra hour on here. We only was gonna be on here for an hour, and I just saw somebody pop on here at 4 o'clock.
No, I was here earlier.
I'm not talking about you, KD. I know. I saw when you was here earlier. I'm talking about somebody else. I ain't gonna put him on blast right now. I talk to him after the call.
I got myself.
Who's that? Who's that?
Delroy.
Yeah, what's going on?
Just got off work.
Huh? You said you at work?
So I just got off work.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is work too. So, So yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it's work too. So that's my job. Don't be disrespecting my job because you was
I
at
ain't
your
disrespecting your job. I was at my job. I had to take care of some things. It's an emergency.
No, I'm just playing, bro. But you see how he got on? He was like, I was at work, like real defensive because he already know I'm gonna talk to you later.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, because this guy, but no, at least you here, man. We covered a lot, so you could I'm gonna post some charts in the in the watch list or whatever, but yeah, some of the stuff that's coming up. But like I said, Wednesday gonna be different because we got NFP, but we already talked about that. But yeah, look at this DocuSign. This is another trade. Now, look, one thing real quick. Actually, I gotta bring this up real quick. I'm showing y'all this chart. DocuSign, it looks great, man. I can't believe we missed this, but I got something important to tell y'all. Yeah, this is the daily chart on DocuSign. They got earnings on Thursday, and this is one of those Cathie Wood stocks, right? So this is one of them Cathie Wood stocks. Now look at this weekly chart right here on DocuSign. The market is looking for a reason. The market is looking for a reason to make some of these stocks happen, right? Especially the ones that's been dead like this for a while, right? And this was their last earnings print right here. This was the day of their earnings. And it opened and it ran up, but then it died. I don't know what happened that day, but it just died. But look, this is the thing I wanted to point out real quick about this. So hold on, let me mute this line because I can't hear myself. But yeah, so we had all of these stocks, right? We got all of these small cap stocks running, but we got this but yeah, but either way, man, before I go into the next thought, this DocuSign play, if you just want just as if it was to have a continuation or whatever, because we got the 90 EMA just crossed above the 50 EMA here, and we got that nice 222 reversal, right? Or is that a 223? Yeah, that's a 223. And if we can get over If we can get over 406, I'm sorry, 46.10, we should be able to move to 47 and probably even further. And that's going to be a big move. It's just for the regular, just a regular move. Now, earnings wise on this stock, man. Again, DocuSign is one of them stocks, man. But they sold. I forgot what it was that made them sold off. I don't think it was really necessarily related to the earnings because they opened up. They didn't open. The earnings were flat. They had a flat. Both sides of that trade got clapped, and then it fell off a cliff. After they clapped those contracts, you see what they did? They ran it after the market opened the next day, ran it up, and then they dragged it down continuously. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so they are pricing in a $7 move for this upcoming week. Well, not necessarily for the upcoming week, but they are pricing in a $6 move, my bad, for this upcoming week for its earnings. But the IV on DocuSign gets really, really high, gets really, really crazy. But I mean, like I said, I just feel like if they can't, this is one of those Cathie Wood stocks. So we had Tesla running, we had Square running, we had what's the other one? We had well, now DocuSign, we had a few other ones. So now when you look at the ARK, the ARK, look at the ARK, the ARK. This is the innovation ETF, this Cathie Woods ETF, right? She sold a lot of these stocks though. So a lot of the stocks that she had, what was the other one? It was another one that ran, another one of her stocks that ran the other day. And I don't think she owned a lot of it anymore. I think she sold a lot of Nvidia, but this is her ETF. So let me see, let me actually pull up something real quick. I want to see what stocks are currently in ARK. If she's still, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up so y'all can see what are ARK's top holdings. 1 second. Because I mean, Roku was one of them for sure. So
you got Coin,
and that was
Coin,
Roku.
Yeah,
Coin. So yeah, Coin was in there. All of them. Yeah. So here we go. So we got
Zoom.
Zoom, the only one that's been like kind of BS, but and that stock's still been doing well too. I mean, they haven't missed their earnings, and I don't know when. So they've been doing well, but I wanted to see the rest of them. But yeah, but the whole point I'm trying to make is this is Cathie Wood's ETF, right? The top holding in there is Coin. Interesting. So the top holding is Coin. The second one is Roku, and everybody was telling her she was crazy, and she kept adding to it. We got Zoom, Path, Square. Oh, I didn't know she had Roblox in here, but you know what I'm saying? So she got a lot of these stocks in here that's been running like crazy lately. So I'm telling y'all this to say that, oh yeah, TDocs is another one that I was thinking about. TDocs. So, yeah, so this ETF is something to keep on watch because now we're starting to wake up. We hit that 222 continuation right here. We broke back over to 50 after that double bottom, and it has room to move. So this is a safer way to play Tesla and all of these other stocks if you don't want to miss out. And if you know what I mean, you can just obviously it moves slower, but look how hard it fell off a cliff though. So it has room to make up. This is a weekly chart, and it looked like it's just waking up. Now, if these stocks, if the market continues and we getting these one-off earnings beats and stuff from these stocks, I think that I think we got a good week ahead of us, man. And if because either way, I think we got a good week ahead of us, and it's just something to keep an eye on because and before I forget, because I want to ask Katie something, but I know I'm gonna forget before I do this. But I made a note for me to tell y'all this because I had it on the docket for a few weeks ago. So this stock right here, PPD, right? I mean PDD. This stock right here, because it's this place online that I think Ty and Peter, they get like all of their clothes from, called Temu. Anybody heard of that before? Y'all probably see it on your thing, on your little.
I know you're not playing with it, bro.
Yeah. So Temu, they own this is the parent company for Temu. and they beat earnings the other day, and look how hard it ran up, man. I totally missed the boat on it, but I've been watching the stock for a while because I like a few weeks ago, I was like a month ago when I found out that they were the company that owned Timu. I found that out like a month ago. Like, so I was like, we need to watch this stock. And then but I didn't know they had earnings coming up though. They had earnings coming up. Now it's moving. And they were saying that it's a direct threat to Amazon. So because they like anything that now because I never believed that Temu was a real company. I thought it was like some spy or something from, I don't know what I thought, but it's the company is doing really well. And apparently they anything they see people, they use the same tactics that a lot of other places use, but they're gonna get it to you for cheaper, because you know how, like, for example, if you buy something from Amazon, it was probably a black label project. I mean, a product or something that came from Alibaba or something. So so they got the stuff from China and then and selling it to you in a different package or whatever. And then now, so Temu doing, like we're gonna just give it to you. We're gonna cut the whole middleman out, and we're gonna do this. But it might just take a month for you to get it. But I don't know. Did anybody ever order from that before? I'm just asking these questions to see if this really is a real, like, if this can really continue. What's up, Wayne? Or whoever.
I accidentally hit the button, but I never bought anything off of there.
Okay. Hey, Lexi,
yeah, I was skeptical too.
Lexi, I know you probably ordered something off of there.
Are they Wish? They used to be Wish, right?
No, Wish still exists. That's another stuff. That's another.
No, that's too ghetto for me. Sorry.
Oh man.
I've never. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've just heard bad reviews. Like, it's like unprofessional stuff.
Okay.
It reminds me of Wish, because Wish took like 4 to 6 weeks for you to get your stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the same type of company. That's what I'm saying. So like, but the stock is on the move. Like, when something happens like this, you gotta really pay some attention to it.
Yeah, so I placed an order on them. So I was mad skeptical too, right? Ads coming up. But I was like, I'm just going to grab some hats, right? They were like $6. It came in about a week and a half. Man, actually, all right.
Oh man, it came that quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's always actually with their shipping.
Okay. Okay. How was the quality? Oh, you said you have to pay for shipping too?
No, I didn't have to pay for shipping on some of the stuff I got.
Okay.
Hey, and my fault to cut y'all off, but I appreciate the answer. I'm ready getting here with my mother in the hospital. But y'all take care. Appreciate for the time.
All right, no problem. We about to get off here too. I just wanted to hit I wanted to hit a few of these stocks, and I just didn't want them. I wanted to make sure I covered this one first,
Right.
because I didn't want to forget. But yeah, thank y'all for hopping on. I mean, if anybody got any questions, y'all can ask while I'm on here, man. If everybody that's hanging on and that's still here, I can answer some questions. But yeah.
I'm in the car, but Antoine, I'm really watching the XLI sector. Think they're gonna have a move within this week or next week.
Okay.
So I've been really looking at CAT and like Lowe's. Like, they look good on the weekly, so could take a look. Tell me what you think.
Look, I like when KD get on here and do this. Look, it's like earlier, you wasn't on here earlier when I was going over like the sectors and stuff, like the hottest sectors. Like this is one of the hottest sectors right now, in the second or third. I think it was in the slide. I think it was like the second, like it was under it was like the one of the hottest sectors of last week. So that's good that you bring that up, because I didn't know that until I saw earlier, but I wasn't watching this. I wasn't watching the ETF though. Look at this. I'm looking at it now, and this thing broke out like hell, man. Look at this. Look at the daily and the weekly chart on this, man. Wow, that's crazy. That bull flag breakout, and is that resistance right now, but this is a nice level right here. If it break this level, then it can easily go to 112 and possibly even higher. That's a good one. That's the all-time high, Katie.
That I don't know.
But like that is the all-time high, like the 111. 12 is the all-time high, but it looked like it's heading there. If it can break this level right here, it looked like it's going to hit the all-time high.
Yeah, I want you to chime in on like UPS, CAT, and Lowe's.
All right, I'll do UPS and CAT first because they two stocks that I actually could deal with, but not we got a 222 reversal on or 212 reversal on a monthly for Lowe's. And the weekly looks great. We got that 222 continuation, and it looked like it wants that 50, but we got a clear 160 first. And that, let me look at this. Let me get this over here first. 1 second. Yes. Yeah, it's the daily. I mean, it looks great. It looks really great right here. So we over here. So yeah, if we can get over 155, I don't see any reason why it doesn't hit 160 and then possibly making, well, I mean, obviously the first move, my bad. I didn't mean to say that. Over 155, then I see 157.50, and then I see 160. But over 157.50, I don't see anything that's really going to stop it. We got that reversal. We got the non-EMA about to cross the 50. Where's the 200 on here? Because they had a lot of ground to make up. But let me just see something. Let me see where the 50 is. I mean, where the 200 is on here. 1 second. Let me just add another one instead of playing these games, man.
What you looking for, the 200 MA?
Yeah, I wanted to, bring it up on the chart on here. Yeah.
On the daily is 170.68.
I still gotta see it. I
don't blame you.
I'm just trying, trying to get a visual, see like what so I can just, like, see where I think it could possibly go at.
They both got.
And so, my bad, y'all. My bad. I got ADHD, man. I gotta see it. I gotta see it, man. Like for real. So we got where did I go? Right here. Yeah. So I gotta see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, that's really far away. But yeah, so it got room. It got some room then. That's why I wanted to see how far it was, like how it looked, and in conjunction with that 200 EMA or whatever. You see when we got that def cross, how price, well, it really didn't def cross. It just kind of, it was already below it. It just kind of just continuation. We get that reverse. We already got that pivot reversal, and we close right there at a key level. So yeah, that has some room. Because the reason I wanted to know where that 200 was at, because on this side I was talking about the that 155. I mean that 160, that 165. But at the same time, yeah, I'm just looking at the way the chart flowing and how the where the EMA is and which way it was headed. So yeah, that looks good. It looks like it can actually, that could be a nice move, Katie. Especially if especially UPS is really good this time of year anyway, number one. So I like that. I like the idea of UPS, and then Lowe's and CAT, they really good too, because think about it like this: if these rates are really, if the Fed is really done with raising rates, then the housing market is about to come back. You know what I mean? And everything is about to kind of, so I can see, and I'm looking at materials and all of that too. But it's just that, but just looking at how sorry, I'm trying to bring this up really quickly.
I think he's going to pause this time around. But I know he's looking for the last CPI print, but I think he's going to pause.
Yeah, I think we get another, we're gonna get a dovish pause. The last one was more hawkish. I mean, still hawkish. I think we get another dovish pause. I agree. But yeah, so I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Now, as far as price, I got, like I said, I got it. I think it can, like, me, I mean, like, for UPS, man. So it moves about $3 a day. And yeah, so I mean, I like those 160. Look, I'm a 160 guy. but those 165s could be cool too if you add some time on them. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't talking anything I'm talking about for at least right now. I'm looking anything I'm looking at it for at least the 15th, you know, right now. And so yeah, I think those I think it can actually really get up there. And I really like the way prices moving here, and it looks great. Looks great. I think it can really make a move if it can sustain this and get up there. I think it's gone. I'll see no reason why if it gets over that 157 that it can't get the 165. So yeah, I think it looks great. This is a great one. Now, cat, because I'm trying. I mean, caterpillar, because I'm trying to avoid looking at lows. And it might be a great one too. You know, I just Lowe's, man. Lowe's, man, and Caterpillar. Caterpillar is a good stock, great stock anyway. Man, that closed on Friday, KD. We got the
Talking about cat.
yeah, this is a crazy chart right here, man. We got a bullish engulfing on it finished with a bullish engulfing on the weekly. Crazy. A 2-1-2 up reversal bullish engulfing. Man, that thing is gonna run. This has got a nice move on it, man. I'm glad you brought this up, man. See, I told y'all, man, KD a resource, man. He always coming with it. So it looked like it wants to close this gap, man. We get over this gap fill and it's out of there. We get over this gap. Where's this gap is at? This gap fills so 220 259.22 is the gap fill, man. I see a move at least what I said 259, man. That thing going to 268. That thing going, and it could probably go even harder if that was to happen. But the way that, man, but I ain't gonna say how did we miss it. We can't cry over spilled milk. None of us was watching these stocks. I wouldn't have been watching it. So yeah, so good luck. I mean, good looking on this, KD, because now
I
I'm
mean, as long as XLI keep moving, so
yeah, I'm gonna look at Lowe's now because of this. You know, it's been running since earnings. It's been running like hell since earnings, man. And under our rate, under our noses. They didn't even see it. So yeah, I'm like, if that 268 looks great. Yeah, this is a nice one. This is a nice one, man. Like I said, I don't know how the contracts move and anything. I don't like playing stuff with really low volume because you know you get those spreads, but at the same time, it's like I would look for something with some time on it and see how things move on there. But that looks great. I'll check that last one out. The Lowe's. Yeah, he said, look at Lowe's. All right, I'll look at it, man. Oh yeah, that weekly looks great. The Lowe's weekly looks great, man. Man, that's crazy. Close the gap on this one. It looked like it wants the 200 EMA. It looked like that's where it's headed. So we got this gap fill area first, but where it closed at, I don't see anything really stopping this right now. I don't see anything that can stop this, to be honest. Where it closed, it looked like it wants that 207.75 price level. I don't see any reason why. So that 210 for the 15th looks good to the call side. I mean, that's crazy momentum right there that we got. Now, and I like the way the weekly closed. We closed with a bullish engulfing on the weekly, man. This is crazy. This looks really good. It looked like it's setting up a flag here on the weekly. And it has a lot of room, a lot of ground to make up. Let's see how this goes. But like I said, that gap was filled. We got another small gap right here at the 205.74 price level. So that would be my first target. If we get over 204, 204.40, that would be the first target. But honestly, that wouldn't even be my first target. My first target, if we get over 204.40, it looked like it's going to 207.75. It looked like it wants that gap. It wants that 200 EMA. That's where it looked like it's headed. So that's what I would be looking at if that happens. So yeah, that looks great. This is a great one, KD.
Yeah. I like what you said about the 15th because like those are the only contracts I like for those kind of stocks. Like the third week of the month. So that's a good one.
Yeah, the monthly.
If it's not the 15th, it'll be January whatever is the third week. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the monthly option. They good because that's where smart money gonna be at. And plus also it's just it's the better one. It's a good look to get that, man. I had to pull up Roku before we got off here too because I forgot to mention it last week and I regretted it, but it was one of the stocks that I had written down and didn't even, we chose others instead. And that was cool too. But definitely had to bring up this Roku chart too because I played Roku earnings, but we were talking about it and this level that I had here already. We got out of this, we broke out of here and we finished over here. We finished over this price level, man. It still has a lot of room left in it until it loses the non-EMA on the daily. But then the thing is, like, now that it's broken out of this key level here, this resistance that it's been struggling with since it's been rejecting this level since June of 2022, and we finally broke out of it and got a candle confirmation on the weekly, so it has some room to go. So I feel like damn, I didn't even realize it ran so hard on Friday though, man. Last week, a lot of stuff ran so hard last week. But yeah, this is a weekly chart right here. So we do have some room. It has a lot of room to move on this stock, man. I'm gonna chart it though. I'll chart it. But like I said, we should just this stock right here. I'm looking for a move over 105, 105.60 for a move back to 108.40. And then from there, we can start to test. We can start to reach up some of those targets, those 52 weeks highs. Well, actually, it's more than 52 weeks on those levels. But I'm looking for 110 and a few others. But yeah, I'll mark this up in the chat. But yeah, this is a really, really good one too to keep on watch. Look at the volume that came in there. And this is pretty good, man. So ever since earnings, it's been really on the move. So keep that one on watch. Now hold up. I'm gonna do Tesla, but I'm gonna do it when I get off of here. I'm gonna do it. That's Tesla, the last one I'm gonna hit on here because I've been on here for too long. And I gotta eat. I gotta eat, but I gotta hit Tesla,
I
man.
was gonna ask you, did you see Airbnb on Friday?
I did not.
Great.
See, all them small cap stocks are running, man. So look, all right. So we're gonna have to do this, man. We're gonna have to do this, man. Bring some of these stocks up. And we're gonna have to start bringing some of these stocks up when we're gonna have to and keep an eye on them like we was just talking about, man, because we gotta catch some of these stocks because look, tech was not it on Friday. It was cloud, it was a few other sectors, but it wasn't tech. And Tesla had to bring this up for a few reasons. So the weekly chart, man. So we rejected this level again. It went up here, but we rejected the level. We rejected the level once again. This is the weekly, but this is a beautiful flag that we got. Beautiful bull flag. When Tesla breaks out of this, we can actually make a move, right? But on the daily, you see, we did get the rejection again. It went up there, rejected it, but shit, what I just do? Went up there, rejected it, but it found a way to close back over as non-EMA. So, and we'll see what Tesla does, man. But I really like the strength that was in Tesla. I feel like we weren't looking for the Cybertruck to really be anything right now. It wasn't really much we were looking for from that Cybertruck. And but yeah, if we can get back over 240, back over 240.20, we should be able to get back up to 240. So it's funny, we still hitting the same levels over and over again. To back up to 240, my first target would be that 246. 246.42. That's the first real resistance that we have there. And so that would be the target. Now, if we lose 231.90, then we'll probably just that's the thing. Honestly, in order for me to even think about puts on Tesla, we would have to lose 230.88. We lose 230.88, then we can make this gap fill down here, this bullish gap fill down here to the what is that? The 223 price, the 223.71 PL. You know, that's the move that I would be looking for, because I wouldn't, that other move would not be worth even touching. It would be this move that I would be looking for if it came down to make that move down there. So but yeah, I like Tesla, man. I like the way it held up, and it had a lot of strength in it. But you know, we had tech got killed last week, and so yeah. But I do got a few other stocks like the Apples and Microsofts and stuff like that. But you know, I'll post them, and we can hit them. But I gotta get out of here, man. I told myself I was gonna get out of here on time today, but we had some good ones. And there's something up with GameStop this week, but we gotta talk about it. That's why I had it listed to talk about. There, I feel like they're gonna do something there, but that's a whole nother situation. Nothing technical, really too technical, but yeah, we'll continue this conversation in the chat, man. And if you missed the beginning of this, you can watch the recording. It should be in the replays channel. I'll catch y'all later.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Already, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. See y'all later.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
No problem.